Hi everyone, it's Massimo here. Welcome to the latest episode of ShapeQ TV.
Europe is running short on electricity.
Prices for many fuels have soared to new records in recent weeks.
The real question is whether you have the political will to do the right thing.
Our addiction to fossil fuels is pushing humanity to the brink.
As you know, our goal is to interview market experts on green energy. On this new episode, we will discuss the Ukrainian crisis and its impact on the European gas market. At ShapeQ, we believe that Europe should invest more aggressively in new renewable energy sources, such as biomethane, where Seat Carriage from STX Commodities sees huge potential.
Certainly, biogas is not only ready to go, it's there.
If we're going to come off an entirely fossil fuel-based gas grid and move towards something that's more, entirely renewable and zero carbon, you need to use methane.
And biomethane is a very obvious route.
The key benefit is first, very low CO2 equivalent emission.
We are ready to scale up. So yes, we just need to scale up and speed up.
Currently, 15 countries in Europe produce biomethane, but the growing potential is huge. And I think one country that a lot of people look at is France. In France alone, we have around 1,000 projects for new upgrading plants in the pipeline. And there's already quite a large fleet of existing biogas and anaerobic digesters. And upgrading plants can be co-located with existing biogas supply relatively quickly. So I think in France, we see that as in other countries as well. They've set a mandatory target of 10% blend of renewable gas in the natural gas grid by 2030. I think we're again seeing a lot of regulation that supports biomethane production from waste streams. And much of this waste comes from the agricultural sector, like livestock manure or corn husk. And every European country has significant agricultural sector. So capturing these wastes and converting them into biogas is both a renewable source of domestically produced energy, but also reduces harmful emissions of those waste decomposing. So yeah, as we're facing this energy crisis, there is an increasing need for self-sufficiency, and this is definitely one of the major options that have been, let's say, selected going forward. Yeah, there's an expectation that biomethane could at least meet 10% of the total demand in Europe by 2030.
Russia is on the doorstep of Ukraine, and the world is busy avoiding the escalation of the conflict. We have asked Thierry Bros to describe the current reality of the European gas market.
Russia now has 70% of the forces in place to mount a full-scale invasion of Ukraine that would be the largest war in Europe since World War II.
But we do not accept Russia's attempts to divide Europe into spheres of influence.
If that depends on Russia, there will be no war.
The White House is warning that a Russian attack on Ukraine could begin any day,
setting off a wider dispute between Moscow and the West, including potentially over gas.
Things could go crazy very quickly.
A Russian spokesman said Monday that the country would not cut off its supplies to Europe. But Moscow's leverage in energy politics is hard to ignore.
If there are any further attacks on the territorial integrity of Ukraine, we will respond with massive economic and financial sanctions.
I mean, we cannot mitigate or replace all Russian gas if there is an issue with all Russian gas. I mean, in the best case scenario, you can only get 75% of the Russian gas to be replaced with LNG. And this is the best case theoretical scenario, which means that prices will soar if there is any kind of issues. I think it's a question of moving back to reality. I mean, we've been living in a very strange world in the last 2 years where we believed in magic math, where we believed that we were going to be greener, whatever was going to happen. We are going back to reality. Reality is tough. yes, we are seeing an increase in prices in energy, which is what we all wanted back with this energy transition. Yes, we are looking at what is security of supply. Yes, we are understanding also that renewable increase volatility because the more renewable they put in the system, the more intermittency there is. And as long as we don't have energy storage, there will be more volatility in the system. It doesn't mean that renewable is out. I mean, renewable is still in, but again, the amount of investment in renewable is huge, and we need all investment. And again, I would stress that the magic math of demand reduction doesn't happen and hasn't happened yet. So again, we need more energy, be it renewable, be it gas if needed. I think to answer your question about pragmatism, the best way to be pragmatic is to allow all energy to compete and to have a high CO2 prices as we have right now, and everybody has to pay for the CO2 price.
Thank you for watching, follow us, and see you next time.